You are listening to Inspired Caring with Michelle Magner, episode number 165. Hello, welcome to Inspired Caring. I'm your host, Michelle Magner. If you are caring for an older family member, this is the podcast for you. Each week, I bring insight, tips, inspiration, and strategies to help you care for the people that you love without losing yourself along the way. Having cared for both of my grandmothers, I've helped manage everything from hospital stays, households full of belongings, to navigating senior living and end-of-life care. And I've worked in senior living as a result of that experience, serving my residents and their families as they've been on this journey too. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Inspired Caring. I am really happy to welcome Michael Braun to the podcast. He is with Toppflight. Hi, Michael.
Yes, hello there. How are you?
I'm lovely. So you work in another full-time gig before we talk about Toppflight. Where do you work?
That is correct. I work at a skilled nursing and rehab facility and as an occupational therapy assistant, and have been doing the therapy work in this field for 34 years.
Oh my gosh, you grew up doing this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what kicked off the getting into Toppflight.
that's awesome. So are you also a pilot?
No, ma'am. I being an occupational therapist and being a companion for seniors, I started, we use commercial airlines. That's how we save our clients a lot of money.
Oh, well, tell me about Toppflight. Like, how is it that you're helping people with Toppflight?
So what we do, and we see a lot of patients down here in Florida that come from up north that uh, end up getting sick, injured, fracturing a hip, and they have to return back up north. And this is how it all started. I had a patient with a hip replacement who did quite well, but was alone, and she needed to get back up to St. Louis. So she had posed the question to myself, how would she get back home? She looked into MedFlight, which is a private jet service, which costs $30,000 to $40,000 to relocate her from Florida back up to St. Louis area. And at that time, having to help her out and work with her as a therapist, I had mentioned to her that she could fly commercial airlines, in which I helped her throughout the flight. And on my way back home, I thought, what a great idea this would be to be able to offer seniors a service where they can get back home, but pay a lot less money.
That's amazing. So they're paying you, and you're an occupational therapist, and they're paying you as a companion to help them navigate the airport and all of the travel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
We started 2018, and this flight that I just kind of reviewed happened in 2017, and I waited a year, did a lot of due diligence and research, and then I started 2018 May.
Who do you serve? What parts of the country?
We've been all over. Last year, we had a flight out to Montana and assisted a client from a memory care unit, and he was moving closer to family into another memory care unit. But we've gone all over throughout the US. Actually, we did a flight from Toronto, Canada to Alabama.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you have a passport and you're open.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've had a couple quotes to do flights to the UK, but I've networked with a company that's in the UK right now, and they've handled those flights out of the country, just so I can get my My roots established here in the U.S. first.
Mm. So if someone, I mean, it sounds like anybody really in the United States, if they have a family member who is in one senior living community or at home, and they're feeling like it's time for us to move them closer to us, that would be an example of when they call you?
Yes, absolutely. And that's typically a good majority of my referrals have come from senior living facilities and senior placement agencies throughout the US.
Okay. I was thinking about a situation where a family in Omaha had a parent visiting, and it was for Christmas. And it was during the Christmas visit that the parent fell and broke their hip. And so they went through the rehab in Omaha, but they didn't live there. They had to get back home.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of that here in Florida. And that's what we would do is assist. We would fly from Florida, where we're based, and out to Omaha, and then assist that client for either from the rehab facility or with the family and back to their home.
So do you provide like medical equipment, transport equipment, or how does that work for accessibility, things like that?
So if they're in a rehab facility and have access to a wheelchair, um, what we'll do is we'll help coordinate transportation that will pick them up from the home or the rehab facility and take them to the airport, and we'll assure that they have a wheelchair if needed. The throughout the airport, of course, they have the wheelchairs, and we physically will assist our clients in and out of the wheelchairs, in and out of the on and off the plane. But also, what we do as therapists, and good majority of our companions are therapists, occupational therapists, or physical therapists. So I will have for our female clients, I'll have a female therapist go, and for our male clients, I do the relocation for our males. And so we will assist with the toileting needs prior to and after flights to be able to assist them, uh, throughout the flight there. But once they get to their destination, we'll also assure through the family or the facility transportation that they can get to their facility. We don't drive them, but we'll assist with obtaining transportation for them.
Is there anything that you don't do or can't provide through this service?
Yes, medication, if they need any type of, if they're diabetic and they need insulin injections, we cannot do that. Medications, if they're able to, if we assist them and give them their medication, their bottles, and assist them with the right dosage, we're able to visually guide them or verbally guide them, but not necessarily give them their medicine per se.
Okay. How does that work, like with your client who is living with dementia and they um, were going from one state to another on an airplane? Is there a limit, or how do you assess if it's feasible for you to serve them?
So we've had a couple of clients with those needs, and of course, we work closely with the family and as part of our screening process before we accept the flight. We've not had anybody that we've not been able to assist, though. Um, we definitely assure that they have a direct flight is, of course, the best. And unfortunately, we've not had any long flights that we've had to handle ourselves. We've had family members, which of course helps a great deal. Or the referral that the gentleman that I was talking about earlier from Montana to Sarasota, his son came along, which helped out a great deal. We did have small layover on the way, in which he was able to um, help his father out with the cognitive wise. but for the most part, it's short flights and direct flights.
I can really see the value in that because even as a family member, sometimes we get a little too tangled up in the situation or frustrated. And so having you as that third party there to help us navigate it would be really beneficial.
Yeah, it definitely, a lot of our reviews that we've had that are on Google, 5-star reviews, we've had a lot of comments from the family members dealing, with their parents, that it does make things much easier for them, a lot less stress.
Yeah. How much lead time do people need to give you to use your service?
Yeah, we've had, which is nice, we've had a month out, which is great to plan, but typically it's within a week to 2 weeks is how quickly things turn around.
Right now, there's no place that you won't go, or when you're doing that assessment or intake, are there parameters for the transportation on either side that are limits?
No, actually, we're up for the challenge. We definitely do a lot of communication with the family and the retirement communities just to see what's best for the client and make it happen. Case in point, we had a client from our facility where I work at, and she had not been able to get up and walk for months. And she required 2 people to help transfer to get her out of the wheelchair and out of all surfaces that she needed 2 people to help. And when we got her up to Buffalo, her family really praised us in what we were doing because they said we didn't think you'd be able to pull it off. And so we're up for a challenge.
Great. What do you feel like are some of families' biggest holdups with making that call to you? So, because I feel like I didn't even know that your service existed, which is why I'm so excited that you're here, just to alert people if, hey, I know someone, for example, he lives in Colorado and his mother lives in Nevada, and he's been struggling to try and figure out, how am I going to get her here? Like, how do we encourage families to make that first phone call to you to learn more?
Yeah, we've been really blessed with the amount of contacts that I've made through LinkedIn.
Mhm.
LinkedIn last year alone helped us 95% of our business last year. Um, that at this point, that's the way that I've been able to network and really reach out to senior living communities and advisors that then forward our information to the families.
How many people are on your team? If you, is it just a couple of you, or I have this vision of you just becoming very, very busy.
Yes, well, we welcome that. Currently, I work with a great group of therapists who are definitely interested. I also have nurses in the event that need to be able to give medication available as well. But for now, I have 3 ladies that assist with our female clients, and right now I'm running solo as the guys. So that way, being the co-owner, it gives me the hands-on that I enjoy working with seniors and oversee how things are done.
So if someone is listening to this and they are an occupational therapist, physical therapist, or nurse, is there value in them reaching out to you to say, hey, I live in this major city? If would you be interested in having me be on your team in the future?
Of course, always, most definitely, and definitely welcome that, and would be happy to give an email where that information could be sent if you're okay with.
Absolutely. Yes. Let's hear it.
Great. Okay. It's Toppflight, Toppflight, 2626 at gmail.com.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with families who are feeling kind of stuck with trying to figure out how to get their loved one from A to B? Obviously flight is in the name, so there's a lot of flying options, but if there's other transportation, like train, I don't know, are there any other modalities?
Well, we've been dealing with not everybody's able to fly folks that are on oxygen that require quite a bit of oxygen, certain like 4 liters plus. So we do recommend ground transportation for those clients. However, um, with some of the recommendations that hospitals will give clients that they recommend ground transportation, not everybody needs ground transport. And airfare is a lot more reasonable, commercial air and our services, and that was a big part of why we got started with this business, is to save families money with having to help with their parents with relocation. And we provide a great niche. We provide one-on-one concierge service for family members, and we treat them like our parents. Our parents are that age, and just take care of our clients, our patients, and just keep open a line of communication with the families throughout the transport.
That's fantastic. What if there's a lot of stuff? What if there's like an apartment that needs to be moved? You're just transporting the humans and a person and luggage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there are companies though too, which that do help with relocation for seniors, packing their places up and shipping. And we have a couple here in Sarasota, but with the services of senior placement, they are great with helping families navigate all the needs that they would need to help relocate their parents. And it's a free service they provide, which highly recommend that.
That's great. Well, wonderful. Any final thoughts for us?
If you would like to just find out more about us, you can check us out on our website, which of course is Toppflight, toppflight.com. And also check out our reviews on Google. Would love for you to check those out, and you have gives our information out. Would love to answer any questions you might have.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Michael.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate your spending the time and getting us on your show.
My pleasure.